Hello, students of class 8. Today we are going to continue about the chapter Natural and Man-made Disasters. So today's topic is earthquake in Nepal that was in 2015. So earthquake is a violent tremor. Tremor is slight shaking. So you can see here there was a violent slight shaking in the earth crust, and after that it sends a series of shock and aftershock waves in all direction from its focus. So earthquakes constitute one of the most terrible natural hazards when we compare the natural hazards or natural disasters like flood or earthquake. So in that this earthquake is considered as one of the terrible natural hazards, so which often turn into disaster, causing extensive devastation and loss of human lives and their properties. So here children, you can see the earthquake, how it causes. You can see their focus is there. See in the first diagram. So that is the um, actual place where the earthquake start, and above that you can see one epic center. So it is the place where it is affected, where the earthquake is affected. And even you can see the seismic waves, the waves sending, isn't it? So wherever the waves are moving, so those areas also it affects the earthquake. And in the next diagram you can see seismograph. So seismograph is the instrument where the earthquake's intensity is measured. Okay, it is self detective there. So it shows how much intensive the earthquake has taken place. So here on 25th April 2015, 7.8 magnitude. 7.8 means it is very worst earthquake. Okay, so earthquake struck Nepal, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. So 7.8 means there will be big earthquake where you can see everything will be destroyed. So after that after that itself you can see on 12th May again the aftershock and another powerful earthquake will take place, that was also of 7.3 in magnitude. Okay, so this two, that is 7.8 magnitude and 7.3 magnitude, both was a very big earthquake. So earthquake of Nepal and India, why it had happened? So this earthquake had taken place in Himalayan belts, and the reason was collision of Indian plates and Eurasian plates. Okay, so this earthquake has caused due to collision means crash of Indian plate and Eurasian plate. So that was the main reason for the earthquake which had occurred in Nepal and India. So in Nepal it affected more, whereas in India we had experienced the earthquake. Okay, so next you can see the earthquake caused more than 8,000 deaths and 100,000 people were injured. 384 peoples, they are still missing. So over 50 million houses were destroyed and 27 million damaged. So even people after this earthquake, people they were afraid to return to their houses because houses are not safe now, isn't it? So they were afraid to go to their houses. So they remained in the makeshift tents along roadsides and they stayed in their friends or neighbors' houses. So next we'll see the significance or the effects of the earthquake here. So you can see that the earthquake, it significant loss of standing crops, that is wheat, barley and potatoes. So all these crops, they were ready for harvest. So that time itself you can see it was affected by the earthquake. So all the crops were destroyed now. Next, earthquake also damaged additional food storage facilities, reducing already limited stocks. So all the stored food grains were destroyed now. So malnutrition rates in creation areas of Nepal are among the highest in the world. So already there was the report of malnutrition in Nepal. So in that condition you can see that due to the earthquake the food grains are also destroyed now. Next, water supplies were severely affected. So it affected the increasing public health also. So due to the spread of wash related diseases, that is the diseases it causes very fast through water, isn't it? So now the water supply are also affected due to the earthquake. Then large infrastructure including schools, health facilities, then roads, temples, heritage sites, all were destroyed. Over 1,000 health facilities like hospitals and all, which were there in villages like birth centers, all were destroyed. Means hospitals were also destroyed now. Some 1 million children they were unable to go to their schools when schools reopened at the end of the May because all the schools were also destroyed. The earthquake it also damaged the forest resources in many districts also, especially the pine forest and subtemperate type of forest, they were all affected. So it also affected the protected areas means like national parks or reserved forest and all. So these areas were also affected and this was the home for some of the wild species like red panda, musk deer, Himalayan tar. All these were protected in this national park. So all these wild animals were also affected. So the breeding of wild animals and birds were also affected. Like for example you can see due to the landslides and our landslides It destroyed so many bird species nesting which were living on the cliffs, all were destroyed. Even the earthquake in the forest areas, it also affected the timber also. So the forest resources which were high demand for rebuild homes, so the timbers, trees, everything was destroyed because the trees were the main source for rebuilding the houses there. Next, watershed in Koshi and Gandaki river basins, that was also affected due to the earthquake. So, a large number of landslides and cracks had occurred in the catchment tributaries of the rivers, which had led to the soil erosion on the large scale. So, the rivers of Koshi and Gandaki also were affected. That is, when earthquake caused, there was a number of landslides and cracks. Okay, so that affected the distribution or distributaries of the rivers. Next, you can see the environment ministries. The assessment report says that loss or damage to the existing ecosystem and their services is likely to affect the livelihood, food security, health, and safety of the local people. So, everything was affected due to this earthquake. So, now availability, whatever is available now of biological resources, it plays a very important role in Nepal in addressing poverty, hunger, medical needs, food security in the rural areas. So, whatever is available now, so with that only the people, they have to maintain their life in the rural areas where it is affected. So, children, I hope this topic regarding the earthquake in Nepal 2015 is clear to you all. So, everyone go through once again. Thank you. Have a nice day.